Hello there. Welcome to Cabbage Patch Soap. My name is Laura, and today we are going to make a couple different types of soap. We'll be making a cranberry wood scented soap, which smells wonderful, and we will also be making a dishwashing soap. It's going to be a solid dishwashing soap. Hi, Ian. Welcome. And yeah, so we'll be doing both of those. We also need to cut the soap that we made last time, which was a gentleman's soap. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out of the mold. This is how it looks. It's blue and white, but we used a very dark blue. It's called dark navy blue, and it smells very good. I'm glad I went with their recommendation on how much excuse me, how much fragrance to use, because it definitely is a very I guess you could say bold fragrance. It has it didn't need the full amount. I think half was perfect. I'm just checking something really quick. I don't know. You know what? No, I can't look it up. Well, maybe I can. Let me see. I was gonna look up the fragrance notes, but I believe this is one that they don't always have in stock. So if that's the case, they may not have the description available. Hi, Lorna. Welcome. Hi, Wanda. Welcome. Hey, you made it to the beginning. That's awesome. You'll get to see the cut and everything. Okay. Cranberry. Oops. Let's see. They may not. Whoopsie. Pressing buttons all over the place. Hi, Stacy. Welcome. Your computer is busy, so hard to chat. No problem. I totally understand. Yeah, they don't have the cranberry woods anymore. That's fine. Okay. Just let me check the screen here. Make sure everything is in frame. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Um, I really should adjust this camera though, because this is like way across the table from me. Hold on, guys. Hopefully, I don't give anybody seasickness or motion sickness. All right, let's turn this out real quick. All right, there we go. So that came out nicely. I'm gonna set the mold aside. And here is how it looks. So here's the blue. You can see it, like it just has a little bit of blue on the top. And there we go. I think I'll cut it this way with the lines. I was considering doing it the other way, but I'm not sure if I like. Well, I don't know. That looks kind of cool too. I think against would almost look kind of. I think we will. I think let's just try that. Let's just see how that looks and see if we like it. I think going the opposite way might look kind of neat. The soap is still a little bit soft, which is expected. This smells really nice. So this is the one that had like notes of like sage and a little bit of like mint, but it's not super earthy smelling. And it kind of smells a little bit like cologne, which is why it was listed as a masculine fragrance. But I think it's gender neutral enough that anybody could use the soap and it wouldn't be. Let's see, what do you say in here? You say against? Okay, me too. That's what I did. I thought you were, for a second, I thought you were doing like the tomato thing, and I was like against or against, and I was like, well, I don't know. Okay, so here's how it looks on the inside. It's just white with a blue, kind of like it's called dark navy blue. So it's just like a dark blue top. And then you got this cool, like ridge looking top now, because we went against, as Ian put it. You can kind of see the texture a little bit, and this camera does not like to focus, as I mentioned every single live. But it smells really nice. I really like this one. I might have to make it again. A lot of people who tried the fragrance in the reviews said that this is their favorite men's fragrance. So hopefully you guys think it is good too. There's that one. Huh. So yeah, it's a nice, simple design. I found that, from other guys who have bought my soaps in the past, like at the craft shows and things, they tend to like the simpler designs. Most of them didn't want, fancy swirls and all this. So I thought, well, I don't want it to just be plain white because that's no fun. But I know that most guys don't want big old fancy swirls either. So this is like a good kind of in between. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put this on the shelf really quick. Welcome back, Cece. Does it have engine oil and engine coolant scent? Um, Not this one, sadly, but there is one that there is a scent, a fragrance I had. I don't know if I still have it. I can check. Um, and either way, I'd have to order more of it, so it's irrelevant if I have it anyway. But it was called High Octane. It was a gasoline scent, and it actually, like, if the smell of gasoline doesn't bother you, I thought it smelled pretty good, honestly. It definitely smelled like gasoline. So that was a fun one. I should go get some more of that and just try, see if you guys like it. All right, I'm just setting these on the drying rack real quick. And that soap's really soft. It probably could have used another day in the mold, but that's okay. It cut just fine. Everything's fine. And then we got to get the individual mold out. The individual bar. But let me clean this off first so we can put it and get it out of the way. Oh, I'm just going to clean the bars off. Since the nice thing about the soap being soft is it comes off the cutting wires really easy. And it should come off of here. Yeah. Yeah, this smells really nice. And it's not too strong. That was what I was worried about. Typically those cologne scents are really strong. And I usually find out the hard way when I use them at full strength, and then it's like I like it, but I don't think most guys do. So anyway, I'm just going to put this back on the shelf. Oh, before I forget as well, one of the many things I need to not forget, the jars that I ordered finally came. Let me show you. I'm gonna use a towel so I don't get anything on the jars. But see, the carpet sprinkle jars. So now went ahead and filled a few jars. This one's lavender. And what you do is you sprinkle them on the carpet, let it sit for a few minutes, and then vacuum it up. And it's nice and relaxing lavender. Okay, so next let's get this bar out of here. Oh, thank you, Stacy. Yes, please, guys, post your channels, post your social media, so that we can find you and follow you for sure. That way we can all support each other. Okay. So here's that little blob that I saved. It picked up some of the gold that was sitting on there. But that's going to be like the little testing piece that I use. I'll put it over here. All right, this is the individual bar. Now, because the other one was really soft, I may just leave it in there because there's no real urgency to pull it out today. I think I will because see no, you can't because there we go. It's got that pretty swirled texture top. I kind of don't want to damage that. Yeah, let's leave it in there. I'll leave it in there a little bit longer. Maybe we'll take it out tomorrow or something. This little bit is nice and firm because it's been exposed to the air. But I'm worried about this. I don't want to pull it out and damage the bottom of it. So we'll go ahead and just let this have another day in the mold. But I will dust out the mica. I'm going to dust the mica out of this one so that there's a bunch of like loose mica that when I sprayed the gold that got in there. There we go. And then what we'll do is put today's soap in there. One of today's soaps anyway. So it'll be in there. And I will set this aside. And we got kind of a marathon of soaps going on today. So this should be fun if you like a little bit of chaos. Hopefully you guys do. We are going to be making 5 pounds of soap. And I'm going to get one last mold because I feel like it. Let's see, this should work. Yes. If there's any extra, I will pour it in here instead of pouring it into the individual mold for the dish soap only. So I'm going to set this aside. So here's how this is going to work. This is my lye. This is my scale. This is a water jug. So in the dish soap, I just use lye water and coconut oil and the fragrance, which is going to be orange essential oil. I've already divided it up and mixed it with the oils because this would take way too long to do all on the live, but I could show you. So this is sweet orange oil. It comes in a big tin like this, and although it's pretty sure it's not actually made out of tin. And anyways, so that's the sweet orange oil. And then I will show you the fragrance for the other soap. It's called Cranberry Woods. This is going to be the other soap that we make. But the fragrance is not available on their website. I got it from Wellington. I don't know where to get it now. But let me just take my headset off real quick. Gotta put on the good old face shield. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. I'm going to put water in here and lye, mix it till it's clear. Then we're going to pour it into the coconut oil, which I have melted already, which is here. It has the orange oil already in it and everything. And then I'm going to pour it into a mold like this one. And then, yeah. And then we're going to set it aside and do the whole thing over because I want to make 4 pounds just of the coconut oil dish soap because I want dish soap. And also I will be able to list some of this on the website. And any extra we have will go in here because my other dish soaps rather were in this design, so that way they'll match. And also, I think I'm almost out of regular dish soap, so this was the perfect time to get this done. Also, I will be putting some of these up on the website as well, so if you guys want them. And they'll be ready pretty quick because they don't need a long cure time. These will not, so just so you know, these will not have super fat because, I mean, like tiny, tiny bits so that there's no issue with the lye. But I mean, this is not meant for washing your hands. It's extremely drying because there's no super fat. So you can wash your hands with this, but it will dry. Your hands will feel pretty dry after compared to any of my other soaps. So just that heads up. Probably should only use it for dishes. All right. Let's see. Let's turn this on. I'm going to measure out the water. Did I move the water? Yes, I did. Here it is. So let's just weigh that. And this is distilled water. Okay. And then I got to put in the lye, which is going to be, whoopsie. Okay. I'm going to zero that out. This is going to get hot. And then like I always do before, like if I'm going to do live on here, make sure you got gloves on and a face shield at least. And you want closed-toed shoes. Use this in a well-ventilated area. And make sure there's no pets, small children around. And don't leave it unattended because someone will think it's water. Because when it's clear, when it goes clear, it looks like water. And there's usually no odor once the fumes have evaporated off. And also it gets hot. Be very, very careful. Like I said, in my other videos, I usually put like a little towel, like one of these towels down. And just wait for it to clear out. And this is going to look a little bit clearer than my usual lye water. And that's because I didn't put the sugar or the sea salt in here. Oh, that reminds me, Stacy. To make your bath salts, did you want any like flower petals or anything in it, or did you just want the salt and fragrance, or do you want glitter? And did you want it colored? I went to make it and then realized I forgot to ask you important details. Okay, so this is looking almost done. It's pretty close. Yeah. Just making sure there's no granules left. It looks like it's fully dissolved. This is extremely hot, and these oils are warm because they were just melted. So this will probably go thick pretty quick. Did like I did before. Okay, with like the I think I did two different kinds. I did the one with the different colored petals, and then the one with the rose petals. I'm gonna move this out of the way. I might be misremembering too, because that happens. Oh, the wire's caught. Okay, let's go ahead and put this in and move quick. I have to move this again. I can't believe I keep going out of frame. I might have to adjust the setting that's sitting on the tripod. Okay, I set this aside. We'll use it again for the next one. Since these are all scented the same, they all have orange essential oil. I won't need to like change a stick blender or anything probably. We'll find out though. So whatever inspires me. Uh-oh. You'll end up with rainbows and unicorns, and that would be cool if I could do that. Okay, so this is nice. See how this is like already starting to thicken up? Let me go a little longer because it looks like it might still be separating. Also, these little bars will cut differently. We're not going to do it on the normal cutter, and you'll see what I mean. Now, I'm not sure if this is because we did everything, all the oils hot. This may actually not be fully ready to pour, but I might be wrong also. So we'll go ahead and pour this one, and we'll find out. This will be like a little tester. And this, by the way, this soap when it fully like sets up and cures and everything, it's going to be very white. Coconut oil soaps tend to be very white instead of like the Castiles that turn kind of that yellowish green color because of the olive oil. This does not do that. So if you like pure white bars of soap, this is a good one. Oh, I grabbed everything except for the spatulas. Well. This smells really good too. It's got that really nice sweet orange scent to it. I do like orange. What I'm going to do with the stick blender, by the way, is I'm going to stick it right in the next thing of oil so that the soap on this, on the batter on the stick blender, shouldn't solidify. But if it does, it doesn't matter. It's like the same exact soap. So we'll just see what happens. I stuck it in there. All right. Let me quickly spatula this into one of these molds. And this soap will probably be set and ready to cut like in an hour or two, maybe 3, but usually it only takes about 2 hours before it's too hard to cut. So if I'm able to, I will set up a camera and record the cutting of the soaps, but I can't wait until what day are we on? Thursday. I cannot wait till Monday to cut this because it will be so hard that it literally, like, I will need a hammer and chisel, and I'm not exaggerating. It will be completely hard like a rock. Okay. Now the next one, the next soap with excess batter will go right on top of this because they will all look exactly the same. Right on top of this flour here. But I'm going to tap it out to kind of hopefully avoid any lines going across, where the, just for design purposes. Like it's going to matter if you're using it on your dishes, but maybe it does matter to some people. Actually, technically, it would bug me a little bit, but like I know that there's nothing wrong with it. But if it can look pretty, it might as well, right? There we go. Okay, so that one's done. Let's set this aside. We'll set this aside. Next, water. Okay. And why? As long as it smells like star showers. Oh yeah. Yes. The star shower smells so good. I need to make more stuff with it. I like it too. Okay, two. Okay. Okay, perfect. And I'm just going to swirl this around like before. And give that, it's still grainy on the bottom. Let's see. Okay, that seems to have cleared up. We'll give that a second to start to cool, or start to clear up. Here's the second one, and see I stuck it in the oil. Let me get the next mold ready. Here's the next mold. We'll set this over here. Gotta get this out of the way. And those soaps will probably get really hot, and they could potentially like volcano up. So I'm not going to stick these in the oven. Yeah, look at this. It's already. It's like, see, I'm like tilting it completely over. It's almost completely set. So that's how quick it works. Okay, let me just see this. Yep. Okay, this looks good. The water is hot, but it's fine. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in. 3 or 4 jars. Okay, sure. I can absolutely do that. I think I should have enough fragrance. I think I do. I'm almost positive I do. I will double check it because I know I've ordered more because I liked that one. Okay. And the reason I'm stopping to stir is because the mixture gets thick so quickly that the bottom is like spinning, but then the top just doesn't really move. So I have to like stop and manually stir it for a minute to get the stuff on the bottom to mix with the stuff on the top. Yeah, I think this is basically ready to go. I say that and then I keep mixing because I'm like, well, what if it's not? And then, yeah, that's how you end up with soap on a stick. This is not a soap that you want soap on a stick with either because it's so, like I said, it becomes such a hard bar of soap, you'd have trouble getting it off the stick blender unless you immediately, like while it was not firm yet, like immediately figured out a way to scrape it off. Okay, let's pour this. Gotta make sure this fills up. Kind of wonder this. I feel like this one might have needed more time. I might be wrong. I might just be worrying over nothing, which is a thing to do, that's for sure. Okay. I'm trying to get that corner, but it's already so thick. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna have to bang this down. And I don't like those straight lines. That I totally created is totally my fault. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of texture just so that they're not these like weird straight lines right there. It doesn't affect anything, it just makes me feel better about it. Okay. Wipe this off. Set that aside. And also that one, by the way, this is already setting up. You can see like the difference in color already. This is really, really white, and that one's still kind of creamy looking. Okay. Now we're going to set this in here All right, let me get this batter into this flour. I don't want to overfill it. And if this soap is left to cure for a while, these bars will last quite a long time. Hold on a second here. Let me get this off the sides. Okay. This is really, like, this soap batter is really thick. I'm just trying to fill in the voids and, like, not have a big lump on the back. I want these to kind of, if possible, to kind of sit flush when they're sitting down so they're not rocking around. Anyway, let's go to the next one. This is a really good essential oil to use for dish soap because it smells really clean and fresh and bright. And it doesn't have any like floral notes. Floral notes are really, really nice in like hand soap and stuff, but you don't really want to, in case there's any like fragrance lingering on your dishes, most people don't want to, get a glass of water and have it smell like lavender or something. But lavender is a really good choice for clothes, like washing your clothes. The laundry soap, that's it. If you like hand wash your clothes. Let me see what you say here. You like the flower mold, Barb? Thank you. Oh, welcome, Barb. Happy Friday Eve, indeed, indeed. All right, so we're doing, I don't know if you missed the beginning, but we are making the dish soap right now, and then we'll be making the cranberry woods after. All right, let's pour this in here. And the dish soap is scented with orange essential oil. So it has a really nice fresh smell. Okay. There we go. Just waiting for that dried up lye on the bottom. Looks like it's out, so that's good. I'm going to set it on here. Yeah, the cranberry woods is really nice. I made it, I want to say a year ago, but it might have been 2 years ago. And it did smell really, really good. And I had only bought a sample size, I believe. And I thought, well, this is a really nice one. I want to get it again. And when I went to get it, they were like it had been sold out or discontinued or something. It wasn't there. I messaged the company. I said, hey, are you going to be getting any of this back in stock? And they said, no, but, or not that they know of or whatever. Because, I mean, with the supply issues right now, like who knows, right? So, but they did have a couple more jars that they just hadn't listed on their website because it was, the last couple ones, and they sold me one of those. So I was able to get one more jar of it. So I went ahead and got the big one because I didn't, or bottle of, sorry, not jar, a bottle. I went ahead and got that larger one instead of another sample size because I figured, if they're not going to have it, I want to have a little bit more because I want to try it in a couple of different applications. I want to try making like a salt sizzler with it. I think it'd be good for like a room fragrance. Yeah, I'll try to describe the scent for you. They took the description down off the website. I think, you know what, actually, well, wait a second. Let me, okay, this is looking good. Let me mix this and then I will check. They put the fragrance descriptions in two different places. So maybe I was just looking at the wrong one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pour this on. And we'll mix this. Oh yeah, let me grab the mold. Here is the mold. Okay, get this out of the way. I didn't. Okay, it didn't matter. I realized I didn't scrape off the blades last time, but there's no soap stuck to it, so we're fine. This looks pretty good. I should stop here before I start overdoing it. Oh, I see. All the soap came out of the blades on its own, so I don't need to scrape that. Okay. Put it in the last bucket of oil and pour this before we run out of time. This is like a race. Okay, there we go. All right, look at this. Tap it. Get out any air bubbles. The good thing is it all went to the corners. Everything totally fine. Okay, I think that was good instead of waiting so long. Oh, hey, look, guys. Okay, so see how white this is? See how nice and white? And see this crack? Remember how I told you this will probably volcano? That's what it's doing. It's so hot in there that it's cracking to release the heat. That's kind of cool. Sometimes you can push it back together. Oh, see, look, that's molten soap, like lava. Pretty cool, huh? It's like coming up. Anyways, it doesn't matter that it's doing that. I just thought it would be kind of cool. Most people don't get to see that because it happens like in the oven when you put the soap in the oven. It'll happen there, and so you never actually see it. You just go to get your soap and it has this crack across the top, and you're like, how'd that happen? Okay, let me put this in here before it gets too whatchamacallit, too firm in the cup here, and make sure I'm actually in frame. All right, there we go. Tap it down, and then we will scrape off the top to make it lay flat. Oops. I probably should do this with a chopstick because I think the curve of this spatula is working against me here. That's better. Okay. Whoopsie. There we go, that's better. Alright, so there we go. Tap that out, and then we'll put more in here. In the bottom of this one. Go, go, go. There we go. That looks okay. So we'll set that aside and get this off the table. Smells really good in here. That if you like sweet orange, you will like this for sure. It's not super strong or anything, but there's just like that pleasant scent there. It's just noticeable. Got a tiny bit left in here. The nice thing too about these dishes is the soap, since it turns into soap, the batter turns into soap so quickly that when you go to wash these dishes, instead of them being covered in like really thick soap batter, they're covered in just like soap. You just wash them. It's not nearly as big of a process to clean them. Okay, let me wipe these gloves off. They're getting kind of soapy. What is a salt sizzler? Barb, they're really, really cool. It's something I learned about recently. If you've ever used wax melts where you like put the little chunks of wax in like a little melter thingy, it like heats up and it melts the wax and it makes the room smell nice. It's sort of like that, but instead of using wax, you just use salt. It's like a pink Himalayan salt, and that way you don't have the wax mess because, like, I have my cat, and I always worry that even though I put the wax melter where he can't get it, I'm always worried that like something will happen. He'll knock it over. He'll get hot wax stuck to his fur. It'll be, stuck to things on the house or whatever. Like stuck to. It's like a big mess to clean up. But these aren't like that because they're just salt. You just literally just sweep them up. and then wipe the counter down or whatever. It doesn't stick to stuff. It's just like a safer and cleaner way of getting like fragrance in the home. And then you don't have all this like wax to, I don't know. I feel like it's harder to dispose of wax than a little bit of salt. And you only need a tiny bit. Like I put maybe a tablespoon or so of the salt in my burner. And it uses the same burner too, like the same like wax melter thingy. I just use the same exact thing. You can use the kind that has the handle, or you can use the electric kind that you plug in, doesn't matter. And I just use the same exact one. I just pour the salts in, and yeah, like a tablespoon or two of the salts, and it's really strong. You might want to. I think a lot of people would prefer to use less. I just use that one. So we got grounded from going outside tonight. Oh no, what happened? I hope he's not misbehaving. So this is almost ready. Yeah, Barb, they're really interesting. I don't know. I don't know who came up with it, but I tried. I made some for myself to try, and I was like, this is such a good idea. Plus, it looks really pretty. You've got this little pile of pink salt just sitting on the burner. It just looks like a decoration. Looks like little rocks. It's kind of cool. So your neighbor had a female cat, and her window was open. Oh no! And she was in the window, and Zoe was outside with you and tried to attack her. Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh! She ripped a hole in the screen. Oh, naughty! Man, he must not like that cat. What did that cat ever do to him? Maybe the cat like calls him names and taunts him or something. Who knows? I could understand why he'd be upset about that. Sometimes cats are like that, they sit out there and they look all innocent, but they're using their own little kitty ways to like make the other cats angry. Okay. This is getting pretty close to where I want it. I may just have to stop here. Now, normally, if I was to make coconut oil soap to use on hands, like on your hands or body, I would, if it was pure coconut oil, then I would use extra. So I would put, whatever I needed for the recipe plus about 20% extra coconut oil. And it sounds like way too much, like it's never going to hold together, but it does. And that way the soap isn't super drying when you use it, but it's still super cleansing, because sometimes you really want to be clean, but you don't want to be super dry. And that's a good way to go about it. And a lot of people just like the feel. I know I like the feel of coconut oil soap. It feels really nice. So okay, I'm going to go ahead and pour this in while it's still... Whoa, look at that, guys. That almost didn't pour out. Turn it this way. I might have waited too long on this one. I don't feel like I mixed it longer than the others, but I must have. Okay, let's scrape this. And this batter, by the way, guys, is really hot. Like it's like you don't want to put... This is another reason to wear gloves, especially for a soap like this where the batter is hot, because this would not feel good if I stuck my hand in it by accident. And at least with the gloves, I can pull them off and stop the heat. Okay, this might be another one that I need to kind of swirl the top a little bit to kind of knock down some of those weird designs that I made by accident. As I fiddle with it and waste time. Okay, so let's get this in really quick. Look how white these are turning. That's so cool. It's like you're watching the process that normally takes a couple of days. Well, it doesn't, I mean, a couple of days to get this firm anyway, but you're watching the saponification process like literally right before your eyes. It's kind of cool. I should do a time lapse, but I'd have to record it with my phone, and I don't think it has enough space, unless I did like a bunch of photographs instead of a video. But anyways, yeah, I should do like a time lapse and just show the soap go from like this to a solid bar in like 30 seconds or something. That might be cool. But I think that I think I got enough to have to put it in one of these ones. One second here. But yeah, I think that would be kind of neat, especially if it like volcanoed and everything. And then I could show the cut after and show what it looks like on the inside and everything. All right. All right. I might have mixed this one a little too long, and that might also make it hotter. Like it might cause it to volcano. I don't know. Let's see here. I'll kind of get it down in there. Fill up the whole mold here. If it'll level out, it'll fill it. There we go. That's better. Perfect. Oh, you guys can't even see. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, so there was just enough to fill it, so I was just kind of using this to kind of move the batter around so it would fill it. Leave it to me to go off the screen there, out of frame. Okay. I should have a whole video where I do the whole thing out of frame. Oh, wait, never mind. That was the car freshy video. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so that looks good. So we're good on this. We're good on that. This is the one that we just made. And, oh, want to see something really cool? This is awesome. Okay. Let me just get all this mess out of the way so that it's not in our way, because that's the best way. Okay. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, so this is one. I think this is the order that we poured it. This is the most recent one we poured. The one we poured a couple minutes ago, I think. Get this out of the way. Okay. This is the one we poured just before that. Okay, it's cracking. It's cracking. Let's see if I can not burn. Oh, look, that might pop up. Maybe we can. No, it's not. I was like, we pull it out and look at it. This is the one that volcanoed that I was showing you earlier. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? It's gel. The reason it's a dark color, that's not color. It's see-through. It's like it's like gel. So if you're gonna hot process soap, remember how I told you could put like the oils in like a slow cooker or something, and then put the lye in and like cook it on low, blah, blah. This is the Vaseline stage. This looks like Vaseline. So this is what's happening. And then you know how sometimes the soaps will have like a circle in the middle, like the soap gelled in this. Like I always say, the soap is gelling in the center, but it's not, but not to the corners. That's what's happening here. The center is so hot it's turning to gel, which is good. Usually it makes like a harder bar soap, and it can make the colors, certain colors will appear more bright and bold in the soap, which is good. But the corners are staying just below the temperature, so they're not gelling, so they're staying this like normal, I don't know, whatever. It's not going to matter. It doesn't affect the soap really in any negative way at all. But it's interesting to see the process. Looks like a cartoon creature with its arms in the air. Oh yeah, this one does. Yeah, it does. Like a little stick figure. Let see what you're saying here about the cat. You're glad it was outside and you saw him and got to. Oh yeah, yeah. Her neighbor would have been probably really upset. That would have been terrible. Okay, this one's starting to crack too. Oh, this is pretty awesome. So, anyways, once these gel and they're like, it's like liquid. Like, I don't want to stick my finger in there because that'd be really like stupid. But you can see it's like really soft. So remember before, see how this is like hard? Like I can press it and well, this one's, where is it? Yeah, this one. See how it's like hard? This one's starting to gel, so it's softening. But this one is still firm. I can tap it. This one not. See how it's like? I don't want to. I can like stick this. See, it's like soft. You can like mess with it. Can you see that it's like jelly, like like Vaseline? It's like it's not set like jelly is. It just has that wobbly kind of. Anyways, they call that the Vaseline stage. So, anyhows, if you ever wanted to know about hot process, but this particular type of soap, the coconut oil soap, gets very, very, very hot, and that's why especially the way I did it with the hot lye, the hot oils, and everything. And yeah, what I could do is set these together like this, like make a formation with it, kind of like this maybe, and then I could set like a cardboard box over the top of it to help hold in the heat, and that might help the gel go all the way to the corners. But it's not necessary. It's not gonna really affect. the soap at all. It just looks really neat. So this will firm up, and it'll still be just a plain white soap. That color, it will not be brown like that. It's just that way because of like the shadow and whatever. So let me set this aside. And these are turning out nice. These ones are nice and white already, and this one is this is the last one we poured, and this one looks like it's starting to gel in the center. See how it's darkening and turning liquid? Anyway, enough science. I'm wasting valuable time there. Okay, so this is the stick blender. We just used it. The soap that we'll be making, the Cranberry Woods, has coconut oil in it as well as one. So I'm just gonna wipe off the soap here, the soap batter, and we'll just use the stick blender. So I'll have to make both of them dirty. It's not gonna matter because the recipe on both is essentially the same. Um, all right, let me just clean this off. I'm just getting the. See, it's unplugged, so I don't accidentally like turn this on and slice my fingers. But I'm getting up underneath the blades there and pulling out all the oil and soap batter. Okay, so that's done. And I'm just going to get the outside really good. Make sure that it's clean. So that's done. And I already mixed the water for this. So this is the one that has the salt and the sugar already melted in there, or dissolved, I mean, in there. So I'll set it up here. It does not have the lye yet because we're going to do the hot transfer method for this one. And I went ahead and pre-measured out the fragrance oil so that I didn't have to do that. And oh, that smells really good. So this does smell good. It does have a bit of tartness to it. There's let me see. There's a little bit of there's a fresh tartness there, and then there's something else, and I don't know how to describe it. I'm gonna take these gloves off though because I have a feeling that the orange oil will be on them, and I'm gonna see if I could find a better. Reminds you of Jello. Yeah, exactly, Barb. Right. Let me just see if I can find their second description of that. Because they do a better job of describing these things than I do. Okay. All right, here's their other list. Let me just check because they have some of their discontinued ones here. And let's see, Cranberry. And it depends on where they put it. They have two separate lists. Okay, it's not on that one. Let's check this one. They have Cranberry. They do not have it here anymore. They must have taken it down. They must have updated their list. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, well anyway, yeah, it's definitely a very like crisp and fresh scent. It it's not like really strongly woodsy. Um, Let me try something else. Let me see if somebody else. There might be another place where I can find the fragrance. Here we go. Wait, that's yes, this is it. Okay, let me see if they put the scent profile in this. And if they did, then that will solve the mystery. Okay. Okay, they didn't list it. They have the scent here, but they don't. I'll try like one more. I don't want to bore you guys with this, but I really want to be able to describe it to you because it's very unique. To me, it smells very like fresh and bright. Let's see what people are saying here about it. Yeah, they said it's not super strong. Like it doesn't give you a headache that kind of strong. I think the problem with this is like everybody has different opinions. I'll try one more. Let me see if they have it in their actual description. Yeah, they don't. This is a shame because this is a really good fragrance, and it seems like everybody else has like, pictures of it, or they talk about how it smells calming to them, or it smells like refreshing and bright. They like it all year round. Um, they Let's see, they've been looking for this fragrance and couldn't find it anywhere, and they're excited to find it. But there's nothing here that. Mm, Let me see if somebody asked a question. Sometimes you can find it there because they'll ask, "What does it smell like?" No, there's literally no questions. Everybody knows. They're like, "No, I know this is good. I don't need to ask a question." Well, that's frustrating. Um. Well, okay. So this one is saying a tart and sparkling aroma that begins with cheerful, fruity nuances of berries, crushed, juicy cranberries, ripe, delicious raspberry, and succulent black currants. So maybe there's like that, but I don't. I wouldn't. We'll say that's what it is, but I don't really 100% agree with that. It is tart and it is juicy. Gotta go to bed, Ian. What? Well, have a good night. Oh yes, and have a good Thanksgiving weekend. Definitely. I hope that means you get to eat delicious food because that's that's one of the best parts. What do you have anything different on Thanksgiving? Anything different than like turkey and stuffing and pies and apple cider? All right, I'm gonna put new gloves on so we can get started here. Oh, hey guys, this is cool. Look at this. I'm gonna gonna keep doing this. Okay, so remember how that one was. Look, it's filling out. The circle is going out, and now it's like in a square shape. Just wanted to show you the progress on our little gelling. Oh, and this one has made itself a hole like a volcano. See that hole down there? So more than likely, this will kind of like fall in and fill in that void. Look how soft. Perfect. Okay, so anywho's, this is what happens in the oven after I put the soaps in. Um, and I close the oven door and then I ignore it, so I don't get to see that all the time. All right, let's move this out of the way. What I'm going to do first is blend up these oils like I usually do, get it to be a little bit smaller pieces so that the lye doesn't have to work as hard. Pumpkin pie, yum, for sure. Pumpkin pie. Making today and tomorrow. Yeah, you can never have enough of that because what happens inevitably is people eat it and then you're left with none. So you gotta make extra and hide them. Okay, this is a looking messy. Okay, so that came out nice and less firm, so that's good. I'll move the chair closer so I can see what I'm doing. I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put the fragrance oil in now because we're only going to do. Oh, I forgot to show you everything. Okay, so the colors I have in mind for this, I wanted to do red, but the red and the white together, if you're not really careful, can look like meat. And I didn't want to accidentally make a meat soap, and I already have a red and white, so I wanted to go more like with the woods side of it. I'm going to use white for the base, and then we can do like a swirl of this green. This is called rainforest, and I wanted to try that and do like an accent swirl. Um, so I'll get this out so we can put it in there. And let me grab. I might as well get the swirl tool so that I can just have it in case I decide to do that. I don't think from using it last time, I don't think this fragrance accelerates. So I think we'll be okay. But if not, then we'll do something else. Not a problem. Okay. So let's go ahead and pour the fragrance in. And this does have a little bit of vanillin in it, like a little tiny bit. Vanillin is what gives fragrances and everything the vanilla smell. So, but it's such a small amount, it shouldn't really be a problem. So this shouldn't turn like dark brown or anything. Okay, there we go. So we mix that in. Okay, so let's get the lye mix. And remember, we have sea salt in here already, and sea salt and sugar in here. Okay. Turkey on Saturday. Turkey's good. I like to make stuffing for it and then make extra stuffing. So you can have both kinds of stuffing. You get the kind of the bird that it like absorbs all the flavors. And then you get the stuffing in the oven that gets the nice crispy top. So you have both kinds that way. Okay. And then you potentially have leftovers, but in my experience, it never really happens. Okay. I'm going to give this a minute or two to go clear because since we have those extra additives like the sugar and salt, just make sure that the sugar and salt's already dissolved, but I'd like to give it a couple extra seconds. Yeah, you can never have enough stuffing. This is very true. I've tried, and it seems like the more stuffing I make, the more people eat. So it's like it's a what do they call it? Exercise in futility. That's why I have to hide it. If I want leftovers, I have to put extra in a container and hide it in the back so no one notices. And then grandkids are here. Nice. They'll eat all the stuffing for you. Okay, this is almost there. This doesn't really need to go clear, but on these ones, I just like to give it a couple extra. Okay, let's try. Okay, yeah, now you can kind of see my hand through there. Okay, that's better. Anyway, let me go ahead and mix this in. It's really hot. Okay. See, look at that. Immediate liquid. Now, I remember last time I made this that it turned this yellow color. And that's why I want to add white this time because it made the end result of the soap was this it wasn't bad. It was just like I wasn't expecting it. I thought the soap would go white and it didn't. It went like a creamy color, which was really pretty, but it didn't work with the design that I had made. So this time we're going to bypass that problem, I think, by adding a little bit. Look how bright yellow that is. It's crazy. It did this last time too. It mellowed out into like a creamy color though. So I know it's not going to be like the sulfur color when I'm done. But that's the scary thing about fragrances. Like when you use them, you just don't know. You do not know. You just don't. You don't know if it's gonna, what color it's gonna turn or anything until you use it. And I kind of wonder. I wonder if maybe this is why they stopped selling it. People probably freaked out. They're like, oh my gosh, I got this radioactive color in here. It's like not. It's gonna go away. But okay, this is thickening, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in. Yeah, this is definitely like tart berries, tart cranberry smell. Also, I would say that I remember now, like from when I read the description last time, they also added this like really cool description of it being like you're walking through the woods, kind of and you come across like cranberries. It's like that kind of a. There are some sort of I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Sadly, especially without having time to think about it first. But yeah, I do get the berries. Okay. Yeah, and the blackberry. Yep, I'm getting that now. Okay. So yeah, this is a very like cranberry, like tart berry forward kind of a fragrance. So we got this really neat green, and honestly, I wonder if that didn't improve things just because it mixed with that color. But I know it's not going to stay that, or it shouldn't anyway, if it does anything like it did last time. This is starting to accelerate, so let me go ahead and add the white while I have the chance. Yeah, this. Okay. I don't want to overdo it like I tend to do. Okay. Looks like yams or sweet potatoes or whatever. Pumpkin. This might not be the best one to use, the best fragrance to use for the heat transfer method, but the last time I made it, everything was room temperature. Huh. Well, you know, if it stays this color, that's actually kind of neat. I wouldn't mind that. It's a very unique yellow color. It's almost like pumpkin mixed with whipped cream or something. All right, let's get this. I'm going to go ahead and pour this in case it tries to solidify on me again. But first, I'm going to do something I shouldn't do probably. Use my finger to kind of scrape the sides down because there's some of this that didn't get mixed with the white and is right on the spout. And I don't want yellow streaks. Well, different colored yellow streaks if I can avoid it. It doesn't really matter ultimately, but if I had the choice. Okay, let's pour this in. We gotta leave a little bit of room for that green. Okay. Gotta move. Yeah, this green looks totally fine. I don't think it's as smooth though as the yellow. That might not matter though. Okay, let's yeah, it looks really nice. Like a nice creamy pumpkin-y or something. Hopefully that doesn't sit up. Okay, let's go ahead and pour this in. I'll get most of that in there. And we'll just kind of do. And then take this. I have lines here, so push this down in here, and we will go around and around and around and around like this. And we'll go like that. Come on. It likes to get stuck inside there, which makes it hard to clean, so I have to get it out. Okay, that's done. Now, we've got this really cool looking color, actually. This is not at all what I thought it was going to be, and I really like it. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit more of this on top, and a little bit more of the green, like that. And then, where did it go? Plus 1 chopstick of texture. Let me get the other one over here. And then we will just kind of, I need to make sure that this is filling it, but get a little bit more of the green because I accidentally pushed it in. There we go. That's kind of cool. Okay. Well, that shockingly not at all what I expected, but I'm not mad at it. Clean this off here so I can see the lines. Okay. There, yep, that looks good. All right, so now we got to get this into the mold that we prepared for it before it solidifies, which it is threatening to do right now. Okay, so let's set this aside. Oh, I need to get that spatula. Let me get the different one. I don't want to spend time cleaning it and risk taking too long. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to just clean this off right into the mold. And then we will pour the extra on top of it. I'm making a mess. That's not what I meant to do at all. scrape it out into the container, I guess. Hopefully you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. So race against time. All right. Okay, so get back in there. All right, you guys can see kind of. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna scrape in some of this orange, and then put in some of this green, and hopefully we'll get kind of like a neat like design. I'll swirl it all up after it's in here. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I like using these little ones, these individual molds, as practice because these little molds, it's harder to make designs in them because of basically their size, their shape. And if you make a lot of batter and you make a lot of these bars all at once, they're starting to solidify as you're trying to pour them and stuff. And so the first ones you do are fine, and then as you go down the line, they start getting harder and harder to decorate. So anyways, okay, that looks pretty full. It looks good. Let me just add some green to the top of this and get that stick again and just kind of swirl it. Give it a kind of interesting look on the top, maybe. More interesting than just blobs anyway. There we go. That looks good enough. And then we move this out of the way. And then just like before, we'll make a little tester batch, like a little teeny tiny blob like this off to the side so that I can kind of test this fragrance. But yeah, this smells really, really good. If you like black raspberry vanilla, you'll probably like this one. This is more of the cranberry berry forward and less vanilla. Let's see here. And I swear, like there's some sort of I don't know, like a green note or something there that's like, I think it's what makes it smells fresh. What makes it smell fresh. Let's see. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Yeah, okay. So I'm just taking this like little bits of leftover batter here and just putting it in a pile right on top so it doesn't interfere with the other bars. And then I'll do the same with this green and just kind of drizzle it on top. Okay. There's that. I'll use this and scrape out all the green on top like that. Okay, that was more of a dump and less of a drizzle, but you get the idea. Okay. Okay, so this will go in the oven because I like to tempt fate. And we'll see what happens on Monday. We'll see. Whew. Yeah, this is a very bright, very like tart, clean. This is a really nice one. I am glad I got it while I was able. So I'm going to move this aside carefully. Let me get all this over there. Get the soap batter off the table. Okay. Move this aside because I want to show you something. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so here, look at this volcano is starting on this one. And this is that one that was like starting to break apart and I was like messing with it. Here's that square one from before. It's starting to turn white again on the top. See that? It's starting to cool off. I'm gonna put it over here. These molds on the outside feel very, very warm, like almost uncomfortable. Here's that last one that was starting to go. The one that was, I forget if I showed it to you or not, but see, it also, I moved these off frame, didn't I? There you go. And then this is the one that was making that volcano in the center, like that hole that I was messing with. And that's what that one looks like. Let me see if I can turn it so that corner gets warm. There we go. I mean, it doesn't matter ultimately, but it's just kind of fun to see if it'll work. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, so this is what these look like. Now they look like winter lakes. Yeah, they do. I love how, like, I don't know if it's coming out on camera, but this one here, like the edges are kind of dusted, it looks like. It's really weird. This one almost looks like a flower. This looks like you could ice skate on it if you smooth the top out. This one looks like puff, like a fur puff or something. Yeah, like ice. Yeah, it's really fun. It's neat to see this process because, like I said, normally they're in the oven when this is happening, so I don't see any of this. Um, but yeah, let me take this headset off. Okay, I got the face shield on. There we go. That's better. Now I can not sound like I'm in a tunnel. Okay, so these are the I know they look like Jello right now, but I swear it'll turn into soap. And you'll have dish soap for the dishes with the orange essential oil, and then over here we've got the cranberry woods with my normal oil recipe. It's and we will see what happens with those colors. If it stays like that, I mean, I think it looks really cool. But I remember last time it lightened up a little bit, so we'll see if it does that again. Like I used a different method this time. I used the heat transfer method. Last time I used cold lye and room temperature oils. Well, cool room temperature on both, and that could have also affected it. And if so, that just means we have to do another test. We have to sometime in the future make another one of these and try it without heat, without the hot lye and hot oils and see if it makes a difference. So, but if you guys have any more suggestions at all for future videos, definitely let me know because I'd like to try your suggestions. Um, oh, Stacey the Tumblr. Yeah, I was thinking. So I like when we're talking about maybe blue and glitter. Is it possible to do like a blue to silver gradient or something? I think that'd be really pretty looking. An ocean soap, Barb? Yes, we'll do an ocean soap. I want to wait until it's not the winter though. I do have a whole bunch of like winter. I'm not winter. I'm sorry. Like beach themed like cutouts and shells and things like that that we can use. But I think it would be better to wait because if we were gonna make them for the summer, it would probably be like January or February when we started making those. An ombre, Stacy? Oh, that would be awesome looking. Yeah, Barb, she really does have some really pretty tumblers. Yeah, if you guys, if you're watching this video in the future, she has an Instagram where you can see the tumblers she made. You guys should check it out. Yeah, I can make them, Barb. I can make them any time of year, but sometimes it's just like people when they're looking for a certain thing, for whatever reason, people want things in season. Um, and sometimes, not always, but I find that it's a little bit easier. Also, it's easier for me to find the things I need to make it. So if I wanted to put some ingredient in there that was like ocean themed, sometimes it's easier for me to get it when it's closer to the time when people would be making it. So the same thing happens around Christmas. Like if I want Christmas stuff to put in my soap, nobody sells it until like um, until like July or August at the earliest. But that's just in time for me to make Christmas soaps. But if I would prefer to have this stuff on hand long before, but it just seems to be the way people do things. Let me see what you're saying here. Full Halloween themed. Oh, that'll be awesome for a vendor event at the end of the month. Yeah, that'll be fun. Oh, you're gonna put some tumblers on her booth. That'll be so cool. Yeah, those live events, they can be really, really fun, especially if you like, just talking to the people. And it's cool too because you get to see people's reactions to your products, anything you're making, and showing them. Um, it kind of it gives you a lot of good feedback that way too. So you kind of know. Um, but that's also just for that, like the local people. I find that people in different areas like different things sometimes. So what does really well in one place might not somewhere else. Like sometimes like lavender soap, for example. Some people find that it sells better if they sell it online than if they sell it in person. Um, but it just depends on the event and it depends on who shows up too. So you have to work that day. Oh man, oh it's too bad. Just like call in sick that day. Just go so you can hang out and have fun and see how your tumblers do. That's so cute that she asked you. I really hope they do well. It'll be interesting to see. You'll have to let us know how it goes for sure. It must be really exciting. A vampire themed soap. I have one. I have a Dracula soap that I made. Actually, it's already in my shop. I think it's like a. I think I used like black cherry fragrance. It smells really, really good. That one, I was surprised. That one smelled really good. Also, Barb, the soaps take about 6 or 8 weeks to cure, depending on what I make. So anything that I make like now, it probably won't be in the soonest it would be in the shop is probably about 2 months. So right now the best thing to make is like winter themed or like the Christmas stuff are getting kind of close, but like the winter themed stuff, like for January, and also Valentine's Day is coming up. I could do like some Valentine's Day stuff if you guys have some ideas. I already have some soaps with like hearts on them, but I can do another like a different version of them or um yeah, Christmas or Valentine's Day. Yep. I think somebody mentioned making something with the gingerbread soap. Maybe the Snickerdoodle. Maybe it was the Snickerdoodle fragrance. That might be what I'm thinking of. I still need to. I have a giant like a giant cookie cutter for um, gingerbreads, gingerbread men, and I put that in one of my soaps, and it came out really cool. It was for a collab. I might still have. Let me see if I still have one of the bars. I'll show you. I think it's over here. If it's in here, I'll be able to show you. If not, then it's on the shelf, and I'd have to go put. Oh yeah, here he is. Oh, I used the small one on this one. Okay, so I have a big and I have a small one, and I used the small one in this. But here he is. See, I believe this was peppermint or something scented. Yeah, peppermint or spearmint. But that was one I did for a collab. I think I put it in the shop though. He's there. But I think a snickerdoodle one would be really good. Any theme I want. Usually on tumblers, I like them kind of plain. I just like the colors and like the design. Um, Most of the time, yep, yeah. I have I have only one. Well, it's not really a tumbler. It's like a water bottle, like a reusable water bottle, and I don't use it very much, um, because it's hard to clean. But I'll show you. Hold on, it's on my shelf. But let's see here. The top of it's dusty because I haven't used it in a while. But anyways, it's a water bottle, so it looks like this. It's got this cool like wooden screw-in top, like a cork, but it looks like marble. And one of the reasons I got it is because it was just the marble. It didn't have like any kind of like theme or design to it. Um, but I like it because I can use it in my photography. If I need like something in the background that looks like marble, I can stick it back there. So that's the reason I kept it. Because like it has a narrow. The reason it's hard to clean is that narrow top and the wide bottom. You can't really get in there to clean it, and that's why I stopped drinking out of it. Okay, it's back on my shelf now. But I use it for yeah, I use it as like a photography prop now. But if it wasn't so hard to clean, I would still use it. But usually tumblers have a wide top, so they're easier to clean. I just haven't bought one yet because every time I go to do it, I forget. Yeah, the marble look looks really cool, but it is hard to clean. So a pink and red Valentine soap barb, yeah, we could definitely do that. And if you have any like suggestions on like fragrance types, like if you want florals or berries or whatever, or if you want like a design, like if you want it to have hearts on it or something, we could definitely do that too. Cinnamon. Oh yeah, we could do cinnamon. I have cinnamon. Let me write it down. That's a good choice. Any design? I will write it. Okay, Valentine's. Pink and red. Cinnamon. Okay. I like cinnamon a lot, so that would be an easy one to do. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to see it come together. Also think too, like think about it like since we have a few days till the next live anyhow, I can do swirls. I can do like an ombre, like let me show you. I just saw this bar. Um when I was so I know it's on the shelf here instead of the anyways, never mind, it's not important. Let me grab it. I have to pull the shelf way out. That's not it. Here it is. Okay, so I have, well, hopefully the reflection from the wrapping won't be confusing, but see the red, how it goes like from like a light to a dark red? It's like darker up in this corner. See what, like that. Sea turtles, yep, we could do sea turtles. I'm gonna put that back on the shelf. Okay. Those shells get harder and harder to pull out every time. Okay. But yeah, so yeah, if you could do, we can do like an ombre like that. I could do swirls. We could do like a half and half, or like the bottom half and the top half there's like a clean line in between. And sometimes when we do that, we could put like a different color line. So like a thin line of another color of soap, or even like a mica line where like you sprinkle in some like gold mica or something. So there'll be like a red on the bottom, pink on top, for example, and then like a gold, like a faint gold line in between. Um, or anything. And then if you want any like embeds, like I know you said any design, but if there's something you think of and you want to add to it, let me know, and I will add to this paper. The mica line idea, yeah, those can look really neat. Another way to do it is just to do a really thin line of soap batter, but that one can be tricky if the soap isn't perfectly level. Um, so let's do that. Let's see, mica line, and the mica can be any color. So like we do silver or gold or and you said or an ombre. I'll put question marks so we can decide that later. We have plenty of time. But yeah, we could do like a mica line or we could do whatever. Hmm. You know what we could almost do? This would be a disaster if I screwed it up though. But we could do maybe like kind of like an ombre effect where we have like red to pink, for example. But made them like layers instead of making them like one smooth transition. And then put a mica line in between each color, like a little bit of gold sparkle or something in between each layer. Maybe I'm making this like overly complicated, but that's one way we could do it. Hi Cheryl, welcome back. You like that idea, Barb? Okay, let me put that. I'll write it. Ombre layers with mica line. I'll put gold down, but we can do any color. So when it comes to that time, let me know. We could even do glitter, but I don't typically use glitter in mica lines because it can make the soap have a little bit of like a coarse feel a little bit to it, like when you hit that glitter. But the that is kind of um that's sort of the same as having like an exfoliating soap. The other reason is because I use biodegradable glitter, so when gets put into the soap, sometimes it loses its sparkle like a little bit faster than normal glitter would. So that's why like the mic is better. But that's still something we could consider. But not if it's too complicated. Everything I do here, if I can do complicated and pull it off, it's fun. It's fun to try. An angel soap for Christmas. Angel or a tree soap. I did a tree soap. Let's see. Did I do it this? I know I did one last year. I forget if I did one this year. Um, Let me see here. Write down angel soap. I don't know if I have any like angel cutouts. I might be able to figure something out though. And then the tree. I feel like I did a tree, but I can't remember now. Like I'm just spacing it. I'll look and see. I know I did one last year and it did. That one sold out, but I'll look and see what I've got made and figure it out. It was last year, Stacey. Yeah, I know for sure I did one last year, but I can't remember if I did one this year also. But I'll find out and then oh, you know what I'm probably thinking of? I'm probably thinking of the Robin Hood soap because that had like the green, but it wasn't actual like tree design. It was just the colors. That might be what I'm thinking of. But yeah, I'll put a tree. I put tree down. So I wrote angel and I wrote tree, and I'll see if I could find something that will like a way of making those designs. So, alrighty. Oh look, these soaps are starting to turn white. See, look, this one here is almost fully white on top again, and this one is getting up close. It looks like little there's like little teeny tiny like crags in there. It looks really cool. When we cut these soaps, we're gonna have to cut them a little bit different than we do the normal bars, and I'll show you probably. Oh, actually, that's right. I have to cut these in an hour. I might have to. I might have to do one of those pre-recorded videos for that. This one though, we will cut on Monday. It will be fine. Snowflake, if not too complicated. I think I have my snowflake stamps, and I think I can do like snowflake would be good because that's more like seasonal instead of like holiday. So that one would be good um, for like even in January would be like making it now so that it's ready for January. I think I do have a snowflake stamp, and I could make it out of like soap dough maybe. That would be cool. Snowflakes are always complicated, but I think that's why we like them. But thank you guys for those ideas. Those are awesome. I have them written down, and I'll be trying to think of a way to make the designs work. I mean, just it's just the mechanical like figuring it out part. So I think that'll be totally fine. It'll be a lot of fun to make them and see how they turn out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the oh look, this one's starting to okay. See how every time I'm like okay, see how it's cracking just like the other ones. So this is probably gonna gel. So let me go throw this in the oven and because I want to make sure it gels all the way to the edge if I can. And then we'll be back on Monday to cut it, and also sometime between now and then, hopefully, I will get the cutting of these filmed, and then get that up for you guys. And I will look for ways to make those designs. I think the pink ombre, I kind of know how I would do that probably, and I just have to decide what how exactly. Like I've done an ombre before, so I think we got that one's fine. And the other ones, I just have to make sure I've got either the cutouts for it or a way that I can make them by hand. So it'll be a lot of fun. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. And we will definitely be back in a few days to cut the other soap. So look out for that live. And if you're new here, welcome. And please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me out. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers so that we can have the community tab open. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. So I hope to see you guys all on Monday. Have a great night, guys.